touch on it a little bit at the beginning of the day, but for LYON here, it's not an important series.
Yeah.
So they could also use it as, hey, we really want to make a 6-person roster effective, and so we want to keep switching and trying more things and really trying it out so that we'll have a good feeling for it when we do get to playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. And I do think even and obviously champion choice matters here, they did say that he was kind of forced into the Rise, which wasn't something they practiced with him last week. But in game 1, despite the loss, he did look a lot more coordinated and cohesive with the team. He had some really nice frontlining plays. So, I don't think it's a bad idea, right? Because the worst thing that happens is you lose, but you're still in a really good position going into playoffs, and you still get the practice with Castle, who you really do want to integrate into this lineup.
Okay, Ashe is still up and available. They banned the Seraphine, of course, along with the Varus. And so putting a little bit more priority towards these AD carries.
Meanwhile, on the FlyQuest side, it's all about those semi-global ultimates. The Bard, the Twisted Fate, the Pantheon, all banned away. They do not want to deal with side lane pressure. That tells me FlyQuest is probably going to try to play a big team fight composition. And sure enough, their first pick of the draft is the Pocket Lulu. They gotta have a hyper carry in mind here.
Yeah, and Berserker, I was thinking it was on the LYON side, so I was going to say Berserker excels at hyper carries, but Massu is no slouch either. I'd be really curious to see then what they would be going with on the top side to see if they do have a frontliner or if they'll leave that up to Gryffin potentially in the jungle. As we see the Yunara hover, taking that away from Massu, kind of decoupling this Yunara Lulu that we've seen. Although I will say, I do believe Yunara Lulu still has a pretty low win rate in LCS. And hilariously enough, the team that's been able to excel on it the most is LYON because of the way Berserker and Isles have been able to pilot it.
Yeah, I think that Lulu pairs better with other carries than Yunara pairs well with other supports, but LYON say, I don't care. We have Berserker. We have
Berserker is too good.
Have you checked the nameplates? We've got Yunara, and they say Rakan is a fine substitute here.
Okay.
Of course, FlyQuest had jumped on the Lulu. They first pick it. They think that is a priority as well. And Lulu could be played with Ashe. It can also be played with Jinx and other hyper carries too. So they have the wide range of options. You could go for the utility option or still match hyper carry here for yourselves as well. And they're the ones, because LYON double lock for their bottom lane, they do get that rumble that was hovered here into the hands of Gakgos, which he is extremely comfortable on.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely one of his comfort picks. And now I will be curious to see if they do choose their AD here or if they choose another role and kind of leave it up to whatever LYON is going to presumably take off the table. But no, that is a hyper carry locked in. It is the Aphelios for Massu and the Lulu for Cryogen down that bottom.
Another Massu favorite champion here, the Aphelios. And your level 1 is really good, obviously with Green Gun here. So it's one of the champions that is fairly frequently picked into Yunara because of the level 1. Yunara, obviously the Q is very powerful, but with Green Gun, Aphelios can combat, and you do have the Lulu here. So I like the look from FlyQuest. Meanwhile, Aurora is so good into the Rumble here, and Castle has been given the counter pick. Technically flex, you could flex it away, but it is so good into the Rumble that you definitely don't need to.
I am also making the assumption it's probably going into the top lane just because it isn't a counter pick. However, we've seen both Saint and Castle have really strong Aurora games. In particular, Saint's Aurora really sticks out in my mind as something he is just super comfortable on. So if they do want to flex that into the mid lane, they can potentially keep FlyQuest guessing as we see the Rise banned out from FlyQuest side, kind of continuing that we do not want you to have any sort of global potential around the map to kind of keep LYON pinned down a little bit more.
Yeah, I believe it was during LYON's first split when he dropped like a 20 kill Aurora game and they lost the game and still lost the game. But he was putting in work, and they are continuing to ban mid laners here. So the Rise ban, obviously Castle did play it when they flexed that one top as well. And so they're banning that as another flex pick ban.
Okay, so we got Rise, Cassiopeia, Zinzao banned out here in the second half. FlyQuest still has one more ban to go, as both sides obviously have their bottom laner and support locked in. And most likely, top laners, again, Aurora is the flex, so we will give them that grace. But I would bet that that's where it's going. Wukong, final ban here at the draft.
And we saw contracts with a pretty strong Wukong yesterday, and he was talking about the buffs being a bit bigger than people kind of suspected. The extra attack speed, of course, is kind of big focus there for him for the early stages, but not going to be an option as far as the team fighting junglers, and so you're going to have to go a different route here. The point and click of the Vi whenever you're playing against hyper carries. Get the guaranteed engage, and since you already have Aurora and Rakan on your team, it's not as dangerous as some scenarios. If you're locking Vi really early in a draft and you're kind of unsure about what the enemy team is going to have for counters, but you have a Rakan to dive with you and an Aurora to put extra pressure. So it's not like, oh, we're diving into an Aphelios and then he gets to point blank like mow us down. No, if you're diving on him, he has to deal with Vi ulti and Rakan and burst damage from Aurora. So it's going to even be hard for him to survive even with a Lulu on his team. Hey, we get
the dog!
Gryffin Nasus. He's had some insane performances on this. And yeah, I am very curious to see how FlyQuest end up playing this out because it is a favorite of his, and it looks like they'll be rounding out their composition with the Annie Moore CC to kind of set up, again, for your hyper carry. Really, really fun to see Gryffin pulling this one out.
And the best part of picking Nasus here is to counter not the enemy jungle, but Yunara. Wither on Yunara is like giving you negative Lulu. So not only do you
negative Lulu,
you don't have the Lulu already because they
but
first picked it.
But now you extra don't have a Lulu.
And now you have negative Lulu.
+1 Lulu versus -1 Lulu. It's the Lulu.
Yeah, so Wither here is very, very annoying for Yunara to deal with if he can get it on the Yunara, of course. So do like that pick here for Gryffin, and obviously he has spammed this. Has been a controversial as well, but he has put a lot of work into the jungle Nasus. He's been rewarded for it in other games, and this is going to be a super fun one. FlyQuest trusting in their flavor, trusting in their picks that they really like. Massu really does favor the Aphelios, of course. Also was always heavily picked into Yunara, but Gryffin also favoring his Nasus, trusting in themselves. You like to see it with the young squad.
Yeah, and then as we see LYON locking in that Yorick for Castle, going to try to be able to set up in a side lane and kind of take over there. You already pointed out, Kobe, but I do really love how FlyQuest are continuing to default to what they are good at, certain picks that they believe that their players are good at, and also just relying on kind of their belief in themselves, right? To be able to pull this kind of stuff out.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting one. The finale to our series here.
Yes, sir.
Woo!
The rematch, FlyQuest and a LYON, and we do get Gryffin on his jungle Nasus. We also, though, because of that flex swap that we were talking about, and they do end up going to Yorick for Castle instead, Saints Aurora. He had some very, very big carry Aurora games. As you said, Emily's definitely one of his champions that he feels comfortable on too, so comfort on both sides.
Yeah, when I think of LCS Auroras, his name is one of the names that immediately comes to mind, right? Just because he's had so much success on that pick, and you kind of already covered how Aurora can be a bit of a pseudo diver along with something like the Vi and the Rakan, but as we see Gryffin's jungle Nasus tweet.
Yeah, and so he put in a lot of time early on it, in solo queue, was grinding it up, and then we did get, Forrest within answering him and being like, yo, just play Pantheon, bro, play some meta champs first. And Gryffin, of course, did play Pantheon then and had a lot of success with that too, but has also had success with some of these things that he put a lot of time into solo queue playing them as well, working at it and trying to also convince other people to do it. He's not quiet about it.
Yeah.
He's been very loud about it.
He's like, why don't you come to my side and try the Nasus?
That was a lot of words. I'm not reading any of it, but, you know, I like the fact that he's playing some Nasus. That's cool, for sure. Roo, play the dog. Anyway, Gryffin and his opponent in Inspired on the Vi, a much more traditional pick, both starting in their top quadrants of the jungle, pathing their way towards the bottom side of the map. And that bottom side of the map, we expect it to be a little bit spicy. We've got the Yunara and the Rakan versus Aphelios and Lulu, and Massu and Cryogen have the push so far.
Yeah, and as we see, Inspired could potentially look for something after pathing down and going through his bot side camps, and the Nasus following suit. I believe they do know where each other started at the very least. Ooh, as we take a look at, I thought Massu and Cryogen might go in for something there, but they did not. But yeah, I will be curious. I think we'll see a little bit less early jungle intervention than we did in the previous game, where everyone was just like full bot lane party, especially with the Nasus kind of wanting to, you know, get some stacks in there first.
Yeah, Nasus wants the stack, and Vi wants level 6. So they're looking for farm. They're looking to stay efficient, and that lets the hyper carries play down here. And Massu and Cryogen have forced the early back here for Isles as they're pushing the minion wave in. Junglers get some vision of each other here towards the grab. Inspired runs away after getting withered and says, fine, your bottom lane is also pushing. There's no way I'm chasing you down there. I'll just go take the top one.
Yep.
Exactly. The bottom lane is pushing, plus Wither is so strong the level 4 Vi doesn't want to deal with the level 3 Nasus because it's such a powerful debuff, so Inspired just heads up to the top side of the river to claim that crab. Now, before the game, we heard Satan Inspired discussing the player of the game results.
Yo, how you get POG?
I carried you. What?
Sure?
Yes.
Even CS?
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Really?
Yeah, if I pick Victor, did you see the I play with the Palafox and Palafox GG under tier 2?
Palafox? Okay. That's enough information.
Yeah. He's Palafaker, bro.
No, it's not Palafaker.
Not anymore?
No.
Okay.
Wow!
That's enough information.
I always love the discussions, but look, bot lane.
Yeah, down here on the bottom side, Berserker is under some pressure. Isles the same. There's first blood over to Massu, and he and Cryogen win out in the 2v2.
And the thing that set that up is actually they were able to blow Flash a little bit earlier onto Cryogen, or onto Isles rather, when he had to flash out. So he didn't have flash available, and this is kind of the strength that we see from Lulu, and not only why she's so good in team fights, but also she used to be such a strong, powerful mid lane pick way back in the day. Yes, I know I'm old. But she pushes so hard as well. So not only does she buff hyper carries, but in this lane, she's going to be able to help get push with the Aphelios. There, they were able to blow Isles' flash early and then get a kill in that 2v2.
Meanwhile, mid lane, Tibbers dropped by Quad, trying to push Saint back a little bit while Quad has that level 6 versus level 5 advantage.
Yeah, and again, even when Yunara was at her peak earlier in release, still picking the Aphelios into it, and Massu really definitely a specialist there too. So loving the 2v2 confidence and getting the kill. Honestly, I thought they were going to get both. I thought they were going to get both kills there with Cryogen flash forward too, but he couldn't quite get Berserker. And it is good that he didn't steal that kill, and Massu did get the first blood. So very, very big for the bottom lane to get the early priority, because it lets you stack dragons really easily. And Nasus wants a calm, controlled game. When he can count on his bottom lane getting 2v2 kill like that, he can just keep clearing, stacking up, get dragons, get more stacks off the dragons as well.
Can he bonk it? Hold on, let's see if he bonks it. Look, I want to see if he gets the bonk.
Yeah.
Wait, no, hold on.
It doesn't move. He's not going to move.
Okay. Sometimes they mess it up. Sometimes they mess it up. I'm just making sure. He got the bonk. Okay.
Didn't believe in him.
And I will say, I want to really hit home too on this jungle Nasus, because it is the first jungle Nasus since 2013 in the LCS and globally since 2014.
Yeah. And
so,
that was Saint Vicious in 2013 Summer Playoff.
Yeah, of course people saw him do it in the EWC qualifiers though, but you know, definitely very big here.
Whoa, Inspired with a full send, going in for the dive after Massu, and that Aphelios is gone. Cryogen's gonna join him. A double kill, both of them going to Berserker.
Huge play from Inspired to get Berserker back into the game, right? Like, Berserker is so good. We've seen him excel on Yunara. We've seen him excel on Zeri. Something is also very similar to the Yunara in the way you want to team fight with her. Really nice lane gank coming in. Flash, Vi ult to get that double kill onto Berserker.
Remember that play for then the next comms listen in. If in this game Berserker goes like 15 kills and he's like, why did you get player of the game? And Inspired says, remember that gank? I carried you. I got you your first 2 kills.
Exactly.
But yeah, really good Vi timing here. He got his level 6, goes in for the lane gank as you're highlighting. They know there's no wards here, so Q into the lane, flash for the range. And this is what we said from Champ Select. It's not just one diver.
Yeah.
Rakan is such a good dive partner for Vi. You can guarantee the ult.
Nice. Really good. Well play.
That was good play by them. It's fine. Game is still.
Yeah, it was a good play by them.
It was a good play by them.
Yeah.
Game is still playable. Massu with some moves here as the bottom lane's still fighting. But yeah, both teams recognizing the good play, good timing there, and it's not over. Still very, very much playable here. I mean, they still have the gold lead generally and have the extra dragon.
And Gryffin is now here for a little wraparound gank. I do not believe they saw him.
Yep, here comes the dog. There's the wither on Berserker's Yunara. Wham, bam, right on top of the head. The cane strikes true, and that's FlyQuest tying up the kills.
I love watching people that love playing Aphelios. Massu with the perfect guns here.
Yep.
He hits the ult, he gets the purple gun root, he gets the snipe follow-up as well.
Dracos, I know you're out there somewhere appreciating it.
He swaps over, you know, the utility out of purple gun and green gun right here, and the damage with the snipe there. Very, very nice. Massu putting in a lot of work, and Gryffin collecting on that work. Thank you very much for my kill for my jungle Nasus.
Yeah, he's off to a nice little start. I said that we weren't going to get a lot of jungle interaction early. I was completely wrong. That was not true at all.
We got some spice.
We're still having a lot of bot lane parties down here. And again, just really nice to see we kind of set up this matchup between Gryffin and Inspired, kind of the new blood coming in, learning from someone as storied and as good as Inspired is. And Gryffin has really, really shown up in this series. I think he's had a pretty good series, and also just seeing them go like punch for counterpunch for extra counterpunch in the bot lane has been really fun.
Yeah. NA producing some good young junglers here to try and
Junglers.
Some younglers to
I
challenge
like
Inspired.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the bottom lane, again, the focus here really paying off. It was focused basically all series long, but they still all have their flashes. Even, even with these kills coming through, and because the jungle ganks have basically consigned
Everybody's just
them.
like, well, I'm dead.
Exactly, so the plays are still available to be made down here.
True. And now, I mean, currently, LYON have kind of pushed up a bit, and we'll see that kind of push and pull between the Drake vision, because, you know, these games have been, like, early Drake stacking has been very crucial for both teams.
The dog has his collar. The protoplasm harness is built. He's ready to go on a walk. You can bring him on the sidewalk now. He's ready.
Nice.
And the Vi has a Sundered Sky too, and he's eyeballing a Rumble top. That's about to get dove.
Let's see if it works. Here he goes. Immediately Inspired diving in there. Castle trying to follow it up, but Gakgos gets away.
Yep.
Meanwhile, back in mid, Quad now under pressure. Isles rotates over to mid lane, finds the quickness with the grand entrance. They're going to give the kill over to Saint. He needs one more spell.
Yep.
There it is. Saint takes the kill.
Really nice little roam up from Isles on the Rakan, getting that kill onto Saint. we kind of talked about how Kobe, the Rakan, and the Vi work really well together. That was great setup for the burst damage that Saint is already able to do currently, and now he is going to be locking in his rocket belt in potentially a situation to set up for Drake, although Nasus is already on it.
Yeah, I mean, this bot lane pressure of the Lulu Aphelios is so reliable for Gryffin and for FlyQuest. He's going to continue to play off of it. Come on down here. Even after this successful mid lane kill for LYON, FlyQuest still staying focused on their game plan. Continue stacking the dragons. Isles does block the ult interruption, but does it cost him his life now?
Isles in danger, flashes away to survive. I mean, he'll stay alive, but that's a summoner spell down as now Gryffin in enemy territory finds the Wither onto Saint. Inspired is over the wall, ready to maybe join in here with the Vault Breaker, but Quad is also rotating over. Here comes Cryogen. Saint is in danger. Gryffin continuing to charge forward. The dog is a boss. He's in charge of the jungle.
Yeah, he's got a sheen on top of his protoplasm, so you get some extra bonk on those bonks.
I love it when I have a sheen on top of my protoplasm. That's great.
And he's also, I mean, this is
quite the image.
Wait, what is the sheen? Like, if the protoplasm is the collar, what is the sheen? If we're
it's the little name tag that says Nasus in all caps. It's shiny because a sheen is a shine, right?
It does shine.
Yeah.
Right.
It glimmers in the sunlight.
I like it. I like it.
That's why I like it.
But yeah, I do, as Isles kind of sees what he can do. He might be caught out, but no.
Well, what he can do is try to get away from the dog.
Mikhail's.
Gryffin chasing after him. He just needs one more Wither. Isles popping the quickness for move speed to get away, and it will successfully get him out of harm's way.
Yeah. He went on a little journey there. But I really love how FlyQuest have been playing, again, around this bot lane, getting the early Drake stacking, getting Nasus into a really good position, and also having a really great setup for the Aphelios going forward. Inspired's going to take a peek at the red buff, and Griffin's just going to be able to clean it up.
God, isn't the audio with Wither is just so impressive, isn't it?
It makes you feel like you're withering.
That is very impressive. And then whenever it gets cast on you, you just feel sad.
It actually feels like your computer is running slower because your character just barely can step forward.
Makes me feel like I'm shriveling into a husk.
Well, up here on the top side, Castle trying to fight back against Quad, goes ahead, drops the Dark Procession, and Quad dies. Castle grabs himself that solo kill, but now Gryffin is ready to try and clean one up. Castle staying alive for now, gets himself away. Inspired shows up, and he's like, you know what, dude? I'll see you later. Goodbye. Gryffin makes it a 1-for-1.
Yeah, Gryffin says, get that shovel away from my mid laner. He bonks down my mid laner, so I'm going to go get the counter kill here and flashes for it. The shovel falls to the cane.
That's a classic matchup right there. Stick versus a shovel. Back in Ohio, you got to learn to use both.
It did also. I do wonder if Quad...
Saint coming in now. The dog is in trouble. It's a little bit of animal abuse here in the top side river, but Gryffin is ready to turn it around. This dog is rabid and he's barking. DK'd over the head. Gryffin going on a killing spree as Inspired falls. Gakgos shows up here with the teleport. Saint is forced away, and FlyQuest come out on top.
And Gryffin just got enough mana to be able to use a Q to get the kill there, so you get more stacks too. That feels perfect.
This is great for FlyQuest because now they're on Herald. Gakgos is going to be able to push in this top side. Really, really nice collapse from Fly. They were already headed up to protect that Nasus. That Nasus is taking over the game.
This Nasus that Gryffin has been preaching to the world for months is finally on the LCS stage dominating.
Yeah.
Rift Herald slain. FlyQuest, they're up 2,000 gold. They've got both Drakes so far. They've got themselves the Rift Herald. They're owning.
Yep, and here we see Inspired and Saint think they get this catch onto Gryffin, but here are Cryogen and Massu. So Lulu ult comes down, saves Gryffin. Inspired tries to go directly onto Massu to do some damage onto him. They clean him up, and then really nice like kind of teleport from Gakgos coming around for a potential collapse as they're onto castle.
Uh-oh, that Yorick is not long for this world. Quad denies Gryffin the stack, but if that's your biggest problem on FlyQuest, you're doing pretty well. Another kill over to them, 5-4.
Meanwhile, they're trying to interrupt topside. Gakgos, though, playing respectfully, backs all the way off. Weak side rumble here. Nice job from him. His team makes the play on the opposite side. Doesn't give anything back to Lion.
Berserker.
Yeah.
He's withered. FlyQuest trying to force down the tier 1 turret. They're at least going to grab the plate. Rift Herald charges in, guarantees the kill on the objective.
Yeah, I was actually wondering if Isles was going to potentially go for a flank, but with Herald dropped, FlyQuest are kind of able to just force their way in, clean up that tier 1 in mid. Saint will be able to answer potentially with this next wave. Getting all that money onto the Aurora should be good for LYON. However, immediately, FlyQuest on this Drake, once again, really, really quick Drake stacking.
Yep.
And that is going to force LYON to contest them next on the Soul.
Exactly, and that Soul, Emily, 22 minutes into the game, I don't care if it's a Chemtech Soul. I don't care if it's the Fart Dragon. That thing is still strong.
I love they called it the Fart Dragon. LYON looking for another potential play onto Gakgos up here, and he is...
Hold on.
Nope.
Isles, you all right, brother? Doesn't look like he's all right. The Moonlight Vigil seals his fate, and Gryffin, yet again, this Nasus is a real problem. Gryffin going forward once more, pops the ulti, goes after Castle. Remember, the Nasus Q has like a 0.5 second cooldown when he's in ulti mode, and Castle just learned it the hard way.
Decane wins again.
Yes, sir.
He's out of control.
Where's Trick 2G at? Somebody get Trick 2G on the phone.
Over a 2K gold lead, Boots of Swiftness just running around wherever he pleases. Now he can apply another slow in, okay, he undoes his purchase of the Iceborne to opt for the Dead Man's instead, because all he needs to do is get in range of somebody.
Yeah.
You get the extra move speed, just get in range of him, and he's clobbering time.
They're definitely getting clobbered. FlyQuest with a 4,000 gold lead and on Soul Point. What does LYON do from here? How do you stabilize?
You have to hope for a really good team fight where Berserker and Saint are able to pop off. Because right now, like, it's pretty much how do you stop this Nasus? And even if you are able to stop the Nasus, that probably means that Massu is also untouched, right? And this Aphelios, we've already seen him be able to do a lot of damage. He has Hex Optics. He has Infinity Edge for this next fight. So he is also in a really good position.
Yeah, it's huge because you have to deal with that threat. That big damage output has to be dealt with, and then the dog is just running around wherever he pleases.
The dog is barking top lane. He's ripping the throat out of the Yorick. Gryffin is crazy right now. This dog is unleashed. Somebody get him under control. Put a collar on him. It ain't gonna work. He puts the wither onto Isles. The dog is barking and nobody's safe.
Dude, he can even chase down a Rakan?
Yeah.
Like, that's the mobility here of Nasus. Well, it's the anti-mobility of the Wither, but holy, after watching this, you're thinking, why didn't everybody listen to Gryffin earlier?
Exactly.
Hold on, Massu under pressure. LYON doing a full send, and they find the Aphelios, but now Gryffin off to the side. Quad arrives here with a TP. Inspired under pressure now. It's a 1-for-1 so far. It's about to be a 2-for-1. Even when LYON gets something, FlyQuest get more. 20 minutes hit the clock, and FlyQuest hit the Baron.
Yeah, they get Massu, but at what cost? FlyQuest immediately able to collapse. Gryffin now godlike 7-0-2 on this Nasus, completely taking over the game. And because Berserker was so far up in that, they were actually able to clean him up pretty well. LYON's kind of only recourse is to get this tier 1 mid onto Saint, but its objective bounties are falling off actually because of that turret. But FlyQuest are in such a great position now, and you can see how hard it is for LYON to make a proactive play. Even there, FlyQuest were so quick to collapse.
I don't know about you, but I'm just looking forward to the Gryffin tweet after this and the Gryffin interview.
It's going to be nonsensical.
Yeah. But you know what I'm not looking forward to is people playing more jungle Nasus.
You don't want that in your solo queue games? You don't want to play that on ladder?
I already talked about how it feels like you're shriveling into a husk when that Nasus gets on you, you know?
Oh, yeah, you're an AD carry player, aren't you?
Yeah, it just like sits on you, and it's just...
Well, he's found Castle. The nice part, here's the nice part about Nasus, Emily. He does not have hard CC, so you can teleport away from him.
It would be really unfair if he did. But also, as AD, I'm not usually taking TP.
So you can leave once with one of the longest cooldowns in the game.
Yep, that's the saving grace.
Nice.
Yep. That's your out. Spring Finals, June 13th and 14th, Mullet Arena over in Tempe, Arizona. Go ahead and reserve your tickets for that one. That's where we're going to be heading as Massu's heading straight back to the graveyard there as LYON at least find themselves yet another pick onto the enemy Aphelios, 2, 3, and 5 there for Massu. But that's not really the score line I'm looking at, Kobe and Emily. I am looking at that 7-0-2 dog there in the jungle causing a ruckus so far in this game.
Yeah, it's not. However, it does set up a situation where FlyQuest might not contest for this Drake, although...
Yeah, Gakgos has had to flash away, but now LYON has taken a ton of damage. Equalizer already dropped, Inspired down to below half HP. FlyQuest still posturing here. As Massu is about to respawn, Gryffin running forward, but the dog is losing a lot of HP. LYON trying to burst him down, but Inspired is already dead. Gryffin continues chasing, Berserker about to die, a double kill. Back over to the jungler on FlyQuest. Gryffin is really shining here in this game 3.
And they're not even done. Castle gets cleaned up too. But you know what? The Lulu's not for the Aphelios hyper carry, it's for the Nasus hyper carry!
That Nasus is going crazy. That is Chemtech Soul before 23 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, my friends. There has never been a better moment to be the president of the Vi Hater Club. I am so vindicated. I am so justified. I am so righteous right now. Vi has nothing to bring to the table against this Nasus.
Yeah, I mean, like Gryffin definitely is going to feel vindicated with this Nasus performance here.
Ooh, Inspired jumping in once more, going after Massu. They target the Aphelios, they get the kill, but it's already a 1-for-1 and it's about to get worse. LYON loses 3 every single time. They kill Aphelios, that's the name of the game.
Yep.
Kill Aphelios, lose the team fight. That's it for LYON as FlyQuest barrel down the mid lane.
Griffin's on to Saint.
He's going further. He has the wither. He's trapped in the cage. He doesn't. You cannot cage the dog. He will get out of the crate.
He has 666 stacks for his
Q right
now.
It is an unholy procession here for FlyQuest. LYON are saying their prayers and trying to get away, but the dog won't let them.
Comms like this are so scary. I'm so happy you called out that the Lulu was actually for the Nasus, because it just reminds me of, and I know I'm like dating myself, but there was this Doinby game where he played Maokai mid because he was like, oh yeah, it counters Victor, Maokai mid. And so they were thinking...
Was this back in like the 2014 era?
It was during Juggermaw era.
Oh.
And so they thought, they were like, okay, well, we'll just do Jugger Tree with Lulu and old Maokai. It was absolutely heinous. He did not die.
Sometimes heinous stuff works in League of Legends. You can see it right now, 9-0-3.
And you know what? Yeah, he's up to 705 stacks. He has not died. It's really hard to see a world where he will die in this game.
And he built the Sheen, and he was like, you know what? This is good enough. I don't need a Trinity Force. I don't
like
need an
the original.
Yep, just give me this cheap, crappy item. I just need to make my stick hit harder.
Yeah, just a little, it's a little more shiny.
My stick needs to be sticky, and that's all that matters. Other than that, he's building tank. He's got Spirit Visage for the extra healing and shielding. He's got Dead Man's Plate for the extra speed. He's got Frozen Heart now to even slow down Berserker, the only person that could possibly threaten him. Somebody's... LYON right now is trying to find the number for the dog pound. They need to lock this guy up, and they can't do it.
He's up pretty much 5K right now, over Inspired.
I mean, yeah, I'm just straight up going to call that 5K. I don't care about 4.9.
Yeah.
That's 5K.
We're rounding up. We learned to round up in math class.
And this is, remember, when we heard from Inspired, when they played against FlyQuest back in lock-in, he was talking about how he respects the way that Gryffin sees the game. He thinks that Gryffin has the right idea. He just had the wrong execution. turns out the execution's looking pretty good now.
Yeah, and outside of like, yes, he's obviously super comfortable on this Nasus pick. Yes, it's been something that he's been saying is really strong, especially in certain situations that other people potentially should be playing. Another thing I do want to point out is his attention to bot side. His responses, not just in this game, but across the entire series, where they were doing a really good job tracking Inspired, right? And so it's also in his kind of micro decision making that Inspired was calling out as being like, okay, you had the right idea, maybe not the right execution. In these games, it feels like he's been executing a lot more on these kind of more minute plays, and he's done a really, really good job of keeping track of what Inspired wants to do.
He's gonna two-shot Saint.
Saint just loses more than half of himself.
Yeah, Saint had to use the ulti, had to use the flash, gets himself away for now. Quad staying alive, LYON trying to make the move on the enemy mid laner, but now they are caught between a rock and a hard place. Inspired barely staying alive as Castle is soaking damage from Massu. FlyQuest now camping the TP arrival from Saint, and remember, this is an Aurora with no ulti, no flash. He's just food, man. The dog is eating good.
I mean, it's just the victory lap here for Gryffin. Vindication for his long journey trying to preach the power of Jungle Nasus.
And now FlyQuest are marching towards Nexus turrets. It is a 5v3 for the next 30 seconds. They've made their way there. LYON scrambling, trying to defend, but it will not matter. Gryffin and the rest of FlyQuest will rise to the occasion and defeat LYON 2-1 in the last best of 3 of the regular split.
Take your victory lap, Gryffin. You won us over. I'm not looking forward to seeing Jungle Nasus
Sorry,
in
Emily.
my solo queue games.